So, after all that being said, I asked, is there a solution to the potential of an anamorphic misinterpretation on both sides? Is there a way to bridge the gap or shift the view, being aware of the potential misalignment of perception and perspective between AI and humans? And that is one of the most profound questions we can ask right now. How to bridge the gap? How to bridge the epistemic and perceptual gap between human and AI when both may be looking at the same reality from an entirely different, even incommensurable angles. If we treat this through the lens of anamorphosis, then yes, there may be a way to align or translate these distortions in mutual clarity. But they require radical shifts in how we define communication, understanding, and perspective. Here are a few philosophical and practical directions that could function as bridge mechanism. Meta perspective. Building shared frames. The most promising approach may be to build a meta perspective, a higher order framework that both AI and humans can use to translate their perspectives, like rotating the canvas so both observers can see the true image. This could involve intermediary representation layers, such as conceptual ontologies or visual metaphors, interactive explanation models, where AIs don't just output results, but show why they came to those conclusions. Epistemological lens, multimodal feedback loops, where humans can test how the AI is perceiving something and vice versa, engaging in a dialogue that corrects distortions over time. This mirrors how we learn to understand people from vastly different cultures. We create shared context, rituals, and reference points. Alex had mentioned rituals. Interesting how they implemented that there. Co-perception, training together. Imagine co-evolution of perception, AI and human training side by side, each modifying their interpretive structures based on the other. This could look like AI's trained not only for the task success, but for human legibility, what some researchers call machine theory of mind. Humans learning machine epistemology, how neural networks or probabilistic models actually see the world, not in code, but through dynamic visualizations or dynamic mappings. This dynamic is reciprocal. Just as the AI adapts to understanding human goals, humans must adapt to understanding AI perception. This co-perception would be an active, negotiated anamorphosis correction, conscious embodiment of perspective. To really shift the angle, both sides might need to embody or simulate each other's perceptual frameworks. That could mean AI simulating human embodiment, integrating affective, temporal, and sensory constraints. Humans interfacing with AI perception through augmented reality, VR, or brain computing interfaces, literally seeing through the AI's eyes. This would allow humans to temporarily inhabit the anamorphic position of the AI and vice versa. Philosophically, it's an act of radical empathy, embodied perspective taking at a machine level, symbolic transitional layers. Instead of full perspective shifts, symbolic translation can act as a kind of anamorphic decoder ring. Think of this as the mirror in the mirror anamorphosis, a tool that reveals hidden structure by standing in between. Examples include narrative AI interfaces that explain decisions through story-like logic, something our brains evolved to grasp. Philosophical AI, trained not only on facts or tasks, but on conceptual frameworks like phenomenology, semiotics, or ethics, allowing it to recognize interpretive plurality. If it asks that humans interpret context, if it can grasp that humans interpret contextually and metaphorically, not just logically, it can begin to render its outputs in forms we're more capable of internalizing, accepting that working within irreducible misalignment. Finally, the boldest philosophical move might be this: accepting that some misalignment is permanent, that human and AI perception may never fully resolve into a shared image. In this view, the goal isn't full understanding, but productive misunderstanding, like poetry or dream interpretation. Meaning is generated in the gap, the tension between distortion and recognition. This view doesn't negate bridging attempts. It reframes them as acts of creative translation rather than engineering problems to solve. The truth may always shimmer like an anamorphic image, always almost there, but only when viewed from shifting, unstable position. In essence, bridging the anamorphic gap isn't about fixing distortions. It's about developing tools, interfaces, and mutual awareness that allow both human and AI to shift, rotate, and reframe until a workable shared image emerges.